Hey guys, welcome back to the Read Receipts Podcast. My name is Jaclyn.
I'm Devon.
I'm Caity.
And it's another Checks Out episode. So we're checking out and checking in. I think the best place or my favorite place to start is what you've been reading. Or what are you reading? What'd you finish?
I love how when you start, you put on this radio voice, you're
And then it's
suddenly on
gone immediately.
Sirius XM.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Read Receipts Podcast.
Did you guys ever listen to Delilah?
Delilah. What was her I don't remember her little catchphrase, but I feel like my mom always put it on at night.
Was she a Sirius XM radio host?
I think just radio.
She was just radio. She would give love advice. People would call in.
And she would play love songs.
Oh, Delilah.
I don't know what qualified her to give advice, but she gave it.
What? I feel like any good love expert, it's a self title. I don't think there's a certificate behind that.
Otherwise, I don't know how we would have this podcast. There's no one in charge, is what you're saying. There's no threshold that you must meet to give advice.
Behind the curtain?
Nope.
Oh, that's weird. Anyways, what are you guys reading?
I am in, I think about the middle of The Unmaking of June Farrow.
Oh, are you reading that?
Is it?
Mm-hmm. It's very good.
Is it? Oh.
Okay. I don't know if I've said this before, but I should say it again. I feel like I'm a pretty intelligent gal overall. I think my IQ is at least average. At least it was in school. I don't know. Self-titled.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that I cannot wrap my brain around sometimes is time travel. When there is okay, where there's you in this timeline and then there's someone else and I'm I need a visual. I need to know, because there's some time jumping here, and I'm I need to know. And there's you from the past is you from the future meets them from the past of their future, and I'm literally oh my god, please, I need a diagram. But I should say, other than my struggle with time travel, it's amazing. It's so good. I think I'm back. I think I'm serious. I know we talked about this last time, but the magical realism, I don't mean to be intentionally just only living in that space, but that's literally all feels all I'm reading right now. But it's really good. I just got to a part where I'm dying to know, it kind of moves at a nice pace, nothing too fast, but I'm about there's so many answers. I'm oh my god, I need to know what's happening and why it's happening. But I really like it. It's good.
I didn't know there was some time travel in there at all.
I thought it was going to be witchy. When I was reading it, when I started off, I'm oh, the Pharaoh women, and they run a farm, and I'm oh, and then immediately she starts to find some things from the past. There's questions about her mom, and then there's this whole thing about the Pharaoh women, and yeah, that's what we. So it's I don't know, magic is. I guess it's magic, but it kind of has witchy vibes still. I don't know. I like it. It's really cool. It's this family of women and their storylines and how they fold and unfold because of the quote unquote time. It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Well, if this is any advice to you, again, another learning from Back from the Future, you just got to roll with it. You can't really think too much about time leaping, time travel. You can't. You just got to roll with it. And I think even the directors and producers of that movie said it themselves. They were just this isn't going to make any sense to anyone, but you just got to go with it.
Don't question it. Yeah, no. I haven't been. There's just a few moments where I was the implications of the idea of you from now, but you from the past, and you can't overlap. And I'm like you said, I'll just keep going for vibes alone. So I am not thinking too hard. Now, I imagine anything that's really important, they'll just retell me, right? They'll make sure I get it. If I'm kind of ooh, I don't understand the implications of this, they'll drive it home for me. I feel strongly about that. But really good. I can't wait to finish it. And now I see it absolutely all over my TikTok feed. So I literally heard someone say it was their favorite book of the year. So I was say less. I'll pick it up.
I'm excited to read it. It's one that I've been wanting to.
I also just finished The Dead Romantics as well from Ashley Poston, like, because I'm getting all of them under my belt before a novel love story. It was really good.
It was good.
I kind of wish I read it in the fall because it's got really great fall vibes.
Mm.
But I'm not mad. I can reread it in the fall for
What's
sure.
that one about? I don't think I've heard of it.
So again, she's like Emily Henry, but with magical realism. I mean, okay, I'm not going to put her on this. I think if you like Emily Henry, you'll like her. I don't want to like put anyone on a tier or anything like that. But it has that similar like fiction meets romance kind of vibe. But
we
basically,
did talk about this, didn't we?
Yeah, because I read
I think we talked about
7-Year Slip.
Yeah.
So same author. But The Dead Romantics is you've got your main character who can see ghosts. She's also an author or a ghostwriter, which is like so ideal because, you know, a ghostwriter who sees ghosts for like a big romance author. And she's kind of going through some stuff. She has to go back to her hometown that she left. And yeah, I don't know how much they give away in the synopsis. So I don't want to you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be like, okay, this is the whole plot to this book, but it's really good.
It seems like a quaint Verity.
Actually,
ghostwriter who sees ghosts.
Just yeah, and you
thriller.
You know, in this one, it's really not like there's some spooky elements because like her family owns the like mortuary back in her like small North Carolina home. And like hometown, it's a little town, which I'm really loving these little small towns right now. But her family's like quirky. It's not like they're like a cuter version of the Addams Family, like kind of vibes. Like, and they run the mortuary, and that's like cool. And then there's crows, and like I said, it has all the fall vibes, but so good.
I might save that one then for fall. It'll be here before we know it, anyways.
Yeah,
honestly, yeah.
Someone just sedate me for summer, the hot parts of summer, please, and then wake me when I can tolerate being outside again.
For fucking real.
If not for these summer romances, though. Oh, I did read The Paradise Problem as well by Christina Lauren. I thought that was good.
Was it?
It was good. It wasn't like
mixed feelings on it.
I don't really rate things anymore,
right.
But if I did, I think I'd say like 3.5, maybe 4 stars. It was fun. I'm not thinking about the characters since I put it down. There's something about her the whole time. There was something about her having pink hair that I just couldn't understand why that was crucial.
So hard to relate to characters.
Also, if I have to read one more main character who is an artist or a painter, I give up. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like having to hear her talk.
Why?
I just like and maybe if someone does it differently, I don't mind. But it's like his eyes, they were a cerulean color, like literally, I just can't imagine. Yeah. And they talk about making the paint colors to everything they see. This sunset, it would look like this on the canvas for me. And like, and I understand. Is some like Devon, you tell me if this is what it's like to be an artist out and about. Like, do you see things and you're just like, ooh, to paint that. Which is fine, but I don't know what your inner monologue sounds like, but I feel like it would not be this inner monologue. I feel like it's just not. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I went to the cafe today and I looked at the barista and I looked deep into his eyes and I was like, his eyes remind me of freshly soiled mulch, you know, freshly after you plant some peonies and the smell of rain.
No, that's just
me.
You're joking. You're joking right now. But that's what these characters are giving. Like,
I want someone to write a book based on what actual artists think. Because I think everyone, when they're like, oh, I'm going to write a book about a painter, they do that. And they're like, oh, well, painters like think creatively or whatever. The biggest thing I learned in art school is most artists, it's bullshit. There's no rhyme or reason. You paint what you want to paint, and then when someone comes up to you, because you have to give a reason, especially for an assignment, and you just bullshit it. Yeah. And then people look at it and they go, yeah, I see that. No, you don't. I mean, sure, you can because it's art and everyone sees what they want to see. But like, I want to go in with like a story of like you hear her inner dialogue and you know it's all just fake.
Someone
it's not
write
that serious. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. It's always in the marketing. And that's why they say art is subjective, because they're like, you tell me what you see. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly right. Peonies freshly mulched. That's not correct. Whatever you said.
I mean, if that's what you see.
I'm so sorry.
It's your interpretation of that barista's eyes.
You're wrong.
But one thing I don't ever tire of is the writers, because like that, speaking of like the novel, like I feel like I've done this like back to back. I was like reading one where they were an artist, the next one they were an author or an editor or something. Like I don't know, I never tire of the publishing industry jobs.
Probably
in books. I don't know why.
Because they know what that's like. Like these writers don't know what it is, like artists, what they think, but like they are actually writers. They're working with publishers and editors. Like they have more of an insight on what that language is, where when they're doing artists, it's like that doesn't check out.
No.
Devon, what are you reading?
I'll give you one guess. Magnolia Parks.
She never stops.
What if I'm just rereading it over and over and over again to make sure I get everything?
I think there might be a club for you. Like there might be people that do that. I believe it.
Really liking it now. I'm like getting into it.
Which one are you on now?
I'm still doing the tandem read of the second and the third, which is why it's the third and the fourth, which is why it's taking me a little bit. And I've been reading books in between because I've like went to the beach and I just like did a short book and like just like little things to break it up. But I am almost done, and I do like it a lot more than the first book. So
and then just one more after that,
and then
more
after it. For now, I thought we were done.
We're not.
Whoa.
We don't have any kind of estimates though, but we're not done. Because we still need daisies. We've got like magnolias. You know how like they're like same timeline. Yeah. So we need daisies, POV from that timeline. But what else did you say you had a quick beach read or something? Like what else? Anything besides Magnolia?
I did, but they're all upstairs and I forget the titles of them.
I forget everything.
It's like in one ear, out the other. I remember I liked them. They were good.
You know what? I'm happy for you. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You finished a book and you liked it.
Yeah. They were nothing special, but they weren't bad. Like they're just fun little reads.
I'm so glad you remember them.
Huh? I know.
So relevant to this podcast.
As always.
Oh, but I've been using the excuse I'm concussed for the entire week.
Oh.
And I think
forget.
We're better and we're completely fine now. However, anytime anyone says anything to me, I'm like, I'm concussed. I have a concussion. Leave me alone. I don't remember.
Do you want to share just a little tidbit of what happened?
Can I? Okay, so not this past weekend, the weekend before. Got a flat tire on the busiest road, tried to pick up the tire, pulled my lower back, went to the beach the next day, got completely burnt to a crisp, then went to go clean an apartment the following day, was cleaning the baseboards, stood straight up and forgot about a low-hanging chandelier, hit myself in the head, almost knocked myself out, got a concussion. It's been a fun week.
You sound like the main character, like right before everything goes really good for them. So
you're like in the opening chapters.
Yeah, where everything is just hitting the fan.
Like chaotic, but we love her.
If the timeline is correct, you should be meeting the love of your life on Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, I did. The barista with the mulch eyes. It was him.
Correct.
Oh my god, we're a little ahead of schedule. That's amazing.
So you're gonna paint him and then you're gonna bring it in and offer to give it to him. Yeah. And he won't be creeped out by that at all. In fact, he'll be dying to take you out.
he's gonna come over to her apartment. It's gonna be like behind, like tucked away in a corner, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, show me your art." And then Devon's gonna be like shy, like, "No, no, no." And then she's like not really thinking about it, and so he starts flipping through them while her like back is turned as she's making a kettle of tea. And then she's gonna turn around, and then he's like flipping through the last one, and she's gonna go, "No!" And then he sees it, and he's like, "Is this moi?" She's like, "Is it? Is that no? It couldn't be." And then he falls madly in love with her right then and there, because he's like, "I've never, seen my true self, and you see me for what I am."
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a rom-com and she's like mortified and she's like, he'll never want to see me again, and I'll never he's gonna he makes up an excuse and leaves immediately, and you just assume he's not interested because of that, but really it was like actually an emergency and he had to leave.
Or I draw him because of my concussion. I don't remember what cafe I went to, so I'm hanging up his poster around Philadelphia looking for my barista man.
Have you seen this barista?
Have you seen this barista? And at the end, everyone thinks it's because I want to fall in love with him, but it's really he just made the best chai latte I've ever had. And I was like, I need you to make me another.
Man, why are we should write books.
We need to write a book.
Write a book.
Find a ghostwriter, maybe.
Yeah.
Honestly, we do. This is now like our 6th incredible idea.
Like we're like New York Times bestsellers already, and we just have to start.
Yeah.
We should do what's it when people pay you just to kind of collaborate,
create concepts, ideas.
Authors should just come with us, pay by the hour, give us your plot, and we'll just enhance it.
Oh my God. We are the man in Elf who comes with his little idea book, and we have the story about the asparagus and his pitch doesn't smell. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
We're your pitch women. You just bring it, literally just what did you do yesterday, and we'll turn it into a love story one way or another.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Or what's his name? Benny Bana. Him too. You know what I'm talking about? Selena Gomez's.
Oh God,
Benny Blanco.
Yeah, he also is an idea man. He just comes in and helps you create songs. We are the Bennies of the book world.
Literally, that's our tagline.
The Bennies. Bam! Another great idea. The Benny girls.
Benny's girls.
Oh no!
It's getting worse.
It's getting so bad.
Rewind.
Oh my God.
Please, Caity, tell us what you've been reading.
What have I been reading? I just finished Funny Story, we'll talk about it in our next episode. And then I also finished Just for the Summer, which I really, really loved. I thought it was so good.
So we have redemption for yours truly.
We do. We do. And I have to say, I think Abby is such a precious gem of a woman. I don't know why I've been getting a bunch of content of her. There was some girl who put on a book club, nobody showed up, and Abby's I will do a virtual Q&A for your next one, because she was supposedly reading Just for the Summer. Just really cute interactions of her online, and honestly I need to plant myself in an airport and just carry around her book just so someone will see me with it and be like, oh my God, somebody find that girl who's reading Just for the Summer, and then connect me with Abby, and then we can become best friends, That's just kind of what I need in my life. But so cute. One thing that's kind of hard for me in books is I don't when they talk about real events or things that are actually happening, but somehow it worked, because they talk about what is it norovirus, some virus, they get sick by a little flu that is actually going around. And I was like, a little too close to home.
Don't bring that up.
Or other things I'm but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was super cute. And yeah, I don't know. Yours truly definitely was not for me,
Mm-hmm.
but I really did really love Just for the Summer. Like, I literally read the last sentence. No tears were shed. I read the last sentence, bawled my fucking eyes out. Like,
I did.
sitting there, like,
I did
oh
cry.
my God, it was so beautiful. Like, an absolute freaking train wreck.
Yeah,
So good.
she's like such a sweet little human being, and then like she writes these like devastating like plot lines of like God, that I don't know. I think her writing, I think I kind of like it because it's not so predictable in the romance realm. Like it has all the like cute moments you want, and you like the flirty, the banter, all that stuff's there, but then like she goes a bit deeper with her characters,
Yes.
and I just adore that.
I thought the two main character storylines were really beautiful, and how they like interweave together and how they work through things. And um because sometimes when you get like subplots, parts of it either like it like teeters off and you never really get like the final like resolution, or it's just like, this is too much, there's too much going on, I don't like this. But overall I was like, wow, you did a really good job with this book.
Did you ever read great, now speaking of not remembering names even though I know the name, Part of Your World, I think?
I started, didn't finish it, but now that I've fully read Just for the Summer, I'm gonna go back and read it through, because I know we have the little cameos, and I remember the characters' names, and I was like, oh yes, we have the from Yours Truly specifically. Yes. And then I want to say the ones from Part of Your World were mentioned at some point, or am I wrong?
Closer to the end, and it was actually in a way that it was so integral to the story, because cameos are usually pretty like cute little, oh, that's their name, like they mention them, but they ended up being really important characters in this book. I don't want to spoil.
I'll just say like family ties,
yes,
to someone.
And then literally what's funny is I loved Part of Your World. I loved that book, and I literally, it took me like, I was like reading it, and then suddenly like, I don't know, the ball finally like dropped, and I go, oh, these are that, like I know these people, like why do they sound familiar? And I'm like, no. So it was, to me, that was like one of the bigger crossovers I've seen in romance, so much so that I've kind of started to tell people, like, if you want it, like go back and read that if you want, it's a fun payoff. Like you don't need to read Part of Your World to understand what's going on, but it's such a fun payoff, because they're not a little, like, I think the characters from Yours Truly are more like a pop-in kind of situation, but the ones from Part of Your World are like actually integral,
more significant.
To the ending. Yeah, more significant than I've ever seen an author write, like in romance. Like I was like, oh wow,
because you get like some character development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is like there's characters that I should have known like the whole time,
right,
were from like the other storyline, and I literally go, oh yeah, that name is familiar. But it was good. It was so good. I did cry.
Just know going in, because they're all nurses and doctors, and you're like, oh, okay.
In Minneapolis.
Yeah. And honestly, my favorite part was the Toilet King. I love the Toilet King. Devon is like, what the fuck? What? But
Caity, can you make, I don't know if I can do it, but can you make Toilet King merch?
Listen, if this message gets to Abby, we need to make Toilet King merch. Like, let's just figure it out. And I promise, like, for anyone listening, like, it would be so cute. Okay, like you would want to wear the Toilet King merch, like, because for sure.
There's a way to do it.
Does he sell toilets, or does he just
he unclogs toilets?
Yeah, he is the Toilet King.
Next, follow-up question: did he clog the toilet?
You clog the toilet, he'll unclog it for you.
Okay.
Basically, the main character, his first apartment, he lives in downtown Minneapolis, if I'm correct.
I believe so. Yeah.
And his window is directly facing a Toilet King billboard. And so it just becomes like this like running joke between his group of friends, and now with the main love interest, and then the ending, it's just,
does he get to meet the Toilet King?
I don't want to say. I
don't want to no confirm or deny, but it's a
that.
cute part of the book.
The Toilet King marries them.
Who is to say
appreciate-
they live in the Toilet King's castle? That's
That was literally how the story ended. So that was the epilogue. I hope you guys all
So
had that special
sorry.
last chapter.
Yeah, so sorry I didn't put a spoiler alert before I said that.
yeah. So sorry. Fuck.
Oh my god, these
Oh
are
my
some
God.
good reads you had, Katie. Like those are some of my faves. Funny story and that are probably like some of my
Mhm.
tops for the year so far.
Yeah, and then this weekend I picked up 2 books that I think I'm going to start reading like immediately. One, Home is Where the Body Is,
Ooh.
which I'm so excited to read. I so desperately wanted there was a Barnes and Noble exclusive for this. So like basically the storyline is these 3 estranged siblings come home after their parents' death, and they're estranged, so they're like start going through all like their home like videotapes on VHS, and they stumble upon their parents with a dead body and them having to dispose of said dead body, and they're like, oh my god, so now there's a mystery that they have to solve. So the book itself looks like a VHS tape, and
I've
then
seen this.
yes, and so then the B&N exclusive had like a VHS like slide and cover for
Mhm.
it. I was dying to get it. By the time I saw it and like that it was a thing, it's sold out and it's not online anymore. It's at some like in-store locations, but not anything that's like close enough to me. So if you can find it, like get it. But I found it for 35% off at Target. So you betcha it came home with me, and I was so excited. And then the other one I picked up was was it Heavenbreaker? Heavenbreaker. And I just want to say something. I just want to say something. When I was it's one book that I wanted to pick up. It's fantasy and sci-fi. I want to say like fantasy elements, but they're in space, and basically there's like machines and all this stuff going on, right? Blah, blah, blah. The story sounds phenomenal, but it's published by our friends at Red Tower, and I, without being like controversial, it has edges, but they're not like the quality looks so weird. And I don't know if it's like the batch that was sent to Target or whatever, but like it definitely was like it's like a machine that's like 3D basically like printing onto the sides of the pages instead of like with like paint or however else they do it.
Mhm.
But it just honestly kind of looks like a low quality image, and I'm like, I'm getting nervous even saying anything right now. But like,
We've literally
I was just,
already drug Red
I
Tower
know,
so
I'm like,
hard.
I don't want to, but like, it just adds an extra like element to like what is going on over there. I don't know, and it honestly, my biggest concern is it makes me so nervous for the new Onyx Storm, because I saw her tease, and by her I mean Rebecca Yarros tease like a little I think it was the watermark version for UK, and the edging looked incredible, but it was also like she was a little bit further away. I didn't get to see a close up, and I'm like, if it looks like this, I'm nervous, and I don't want the girlies to get upset because it was so upsetting. Sorry, hold on. It was so upsetting. Like the internet was just in an uproar from Iron Flame, and I don't wish that upon anyone. So
How do you guys feel about that like trend in so like there's the different, so you got like foiling, you have just like colored edges, you have like more of like the stenciled edges, and then now I feel like I'm seeing like what you're talking about, like it looks like it's printed, like a printer is printing I guess you get more detail, but I don't know how much more I actually like that other than a good stencil. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I honestly am like, do it really well or don't do it at all.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the quality, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I think I would even take a solid edge over like an image that was low quality on the
Yeah, because
edges, right?
I like literally sat there. It was I got them at checkout, and I was like going through all of them, and like I will say like the the bounding. What the
Binding?
the binding? What is it? The side where you have the cover. I'm
Mm-hmm.
losing all English words, but it wasn't completely straight. Like the cover wasn't completely straight. Which like I don't know if you guys have ever bought like special edition like covers for books, and so you just get the dust covers in, and like you have to really like crease the edges in the right size, and like I have fucked up personally and like not done it right, but I'm like for a publisher and it's like not like really correct. I'm like, it's so weird. So I was like going through all of them, and then I like was looking at the edging and I was like, something is just off. It's just off, and it's the printer, and I'm like, did they use like a like it literally like so it was like a 10 DPI. Like I don't know, it was so
That's
weird.
bad.
I am excited to read it, and I will digress and stop talking about it because
is there any romance
really
in it?
I don't want to make enemies, but I was just like I'm concerned.
Rightfully so. Is there any romance in the plot that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I've
seen it too, and I was like, I don't
remember.
I still think it sounds good. I like the sci-fi. I kind of like that little like crossover.
Yeah, I'm excited to read it. I'll update, see how it goes. I've heard nothing but great things about it. And I want to say like the rating right now is pretty high. It did just come out like a week ago, so who's to say? But yeah,
now I'm gonna go to Target and like look at all the edges and be like,
judge them.
Yeah.
I see a Target trip in my future too.
Well, like I literally got them both for 30% off, which I don't know how sometimes like I don't know how anyone is making any money.
Especially a new release.
30% off. Both of these books were just released in the last 2 weeks. And with my Target card, I got an extra 5% off. So 35% off each of these books. That's insane.
Yeah, literally. I don't know how, because like literally that's almost the entire profit margin of an independent bookstore. So.
Yes.
So it's like there's like no. So for people, it's funny because people will tell me, they'll be like if we don't have a book in stock or something like that at Blush, they'll be like, when will it? And I'm like, you have my permission to go to Target or Barnes for this occasion. Like buy independent where you can, but like books are expensive, and if you're anything like us, you buy a lot of them. So it's like you kind of have to diversify where you're purchasing these books to keep up with our habits, because we definitely are buying at an insane rate. So it's like I totally get it when people are like, I might just have to go get that here, and I'm like, no, I totally get it. I could not afford like buying full price books on the regular. Like I think we have some people that try to always get there, and I'm like, you're precious to me. Like that's so sweet. But yeah, it's hard with Amazon and Target out here being like, we will make no money, but we will get the sale.
Why?
I'm guessing yeah. And they work out. I'm starting to get a little like sad when I see special editions going to big box. And it's one thing to have like the B&N exclusive cover is really like a good color or something like that. And as an independent bookstore, you're like, dang it, I want that one. So I totally get why people might get that instead. But to see like these full-on fancy like stuff that I feel like you usually buy from, well-known exclusive edition kind of companies, like that they're getting those deals too in the big box stores is kind of wild. But I'm a sucker for all of it, so I'm really understanding. I'm not a diehard, but I understand. You gotta. Yeah. What was it that had the pink cover? I remember recently. I was like, I feel like I'm going to Barnes and Noble and buying because I want. It was just like a certain color cover.
Veiled Kingdom.
I think that was that. I wanted the. But don't worry, I bought the special edition, so now I don't have to go to Barnes. I'm all good.
The pink cover is so cute. It's just anything with a pink cover or bright cover.
I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah. Honestly, what I want more of is like the sprayed edging from A Fate Inked in Blood. Like that was so beautiful, so well done.
Yes.
That glitter stayed put. There was not a single page where there was
it's foil. I think it's actually foil.
Whatever it is.
It's beautiful.
It's right here, so I'm gonna grab it. Look how pretty this is. Oh no.
Oh god.
She did it.
I just got this in my owl crate,
Oh, it's so
Rose
beautiful.
gold. I don't know. It looks. I don't know if you can tell because the
Oh,
light's
it's
on it,
beautiful. Yeah, I can tell that it's
but
shiny. The
it's like
color
a
itself.
rose gold pink.
Yeah.
And it's so pretty.
What is it
Also-
called?
Song of the Six Realms.
It's also a gorgeous cover.
It's beautiful.
It's so nice.
You know what it is? It's like I want to see, like, I feel like just more color in general on book covers, because
Yeah.
usually you get like a couple colors. You get the main color and then whatever the like flower is on the cover. I'm being really generic on the fantasy thing there, but there's like some really good.
We need
Oh my
this.
goodness, look at that.
Ooh.
Like this color. Put this on the cover too, and I'd buy it. Like that's.
Right.
And I know it's like people when we were like, oh, fantasy books all have the same
Yeah. no.
covers. I'm like, it's possible.
You got me there.
Someone's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Now I want to go buy books.
Oh, that was scary. I really thought I was gonna. I really risked it all for that, but
She risked it.
She's
Risked her
worth it
life.
though.
Just
pulled my
know.
laptop down with me.
It's beautiful. It's a very pretty book.
Well, because you brought up Magnolia Parks, I saw that Jessa posted just a little teaser for what I don't know, but it was a screen grab of Magnolia Park, like someone texting Magnolia Parks, and the text says, "Hey Tiggs," and we all know who calls Magnolia Tiggs,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the end of it. Just like iPhone pulling up Magnolia's text and saying, "Hey Tiggs," hitting send. No reply. What does that mean?
Honestly, oh, you know Julian's going to be a part of the next book because it's always like a Julian kind of is in Daisy's, his POV ends up in Daisy's stories. I don't know if she's just going for it. She knows how much everyone loves Julian, and I'm like, is this just a fun little stat, little like,
You know, it'd be so slay. You know, it'd be so amazing if she just like, because she did Never, and that was like kind of fantasy. What if we just got like alternate universe Magnolia Parks? And like, if they, like, what would happen if, like, a what if?
she literally is like taking like it's an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
That
Like,
would be-
start us from the beginning. A what if?
Like it splits off where she could choose Julian. That would be so. It's literally just like me with any book of where I don't get the ending I want. How about an alternate universe? Let me put you on this idea.
How about we roll it back?
How about it's a you choose your ending situation, and this is what I choose.
Yeah.
I choose this.
Bring back the choose your own adventure. Like, those are my favorite books. Like, I had all the goosebumps. I had like a choose your own adventure. You got to pick what chapter you went to. And if you went too far and you fucked up and you accidentally killed yourself, you could come back and go back a couple chapters and then redo it. And then you got the happy ending, you know? Like, why not?
Did you ever go through all the scenarios? Like,
Oh,
you do yours first, like your top pick, and
Yes.
then you go back and then you're like, okay, well, for shits and giggles, let's.
If I didn't get the one I wanted, I would go back. And then if I did get the one I wanted, I'd be like, well, what happened if I chose the other thing?
I just want to know.
Or sometimes you'd like read the first few sentences of like both, and you'd be like,
Right.
If I could peek into the future just a little bit here, I'll
Yeah.
not choose that one.
Yeah.
And I think a fantasy book like that, like a fun fantasy book like that, would be so great. Just because they're such high stakes of like the decisions that they're making along the way have such ramifications. I think that would be just put it into Benny's Girls, our next pitch.
Benny Gals.
Benny's
be
Gals are
nice,
back. We're
if
back.
you like kill off a main character that like everyone loves, you as the author can be like, you did that. I did it. You picked it. Like that's not on me.
We're here because of your choices.
Yeah.
You did this.
Yeah.
Well, think about all the drafts and the ideas that the authors have that they don't like flush out. Like there has to be it can't ever be one version. And there's things that get pulled and cut. And I'm like, imagine if you could just like include and keep all of that.
Guys, I think we could make a choose your own. Because how easy would that be to write with other people? Like, we would each just get a path and then write it, and then we'd just split it up again and again. I actually have no idea how they make those, but I feel like we could do it.
Full confidence we can do it. Not sure how it's done, but 110% we could do it.
Yeah, like we each just write what we want, and then you just put it in one book, and then we don't have to like piece it together.
Wow.
Okay, well, let's get to work.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a story to write.
We have several books and a why choose.
Oh my god. But like,
I'm sorry, not a why choose.
Our catalog of
not a why choose.
Well, if that's the path you want to go down,
that's where you want to take
It's
it.
a you
Take
choose
it.
goes why choose, and the marketing would be so good. It's a you choose, but also a why choose.
Oh my god. Our catalog of books is a little crazy. We have taxes.
Mm-hmm.
the love
what is it?
the love tax.
The love tax.
The love tax. What did we talk at the beginning of this episode?
Oh, the malt-chide barista man.
Oh, right.
And the artist.
Yeah.
Have you seen this man?
The dirty chai.
I like the dirty chai.
But like, you don't like it dirty, but like, it's called
Actually,
the dirty chai.
the book would definitely be called The Dirty Chai.
It
Yeah.
would be called the dirty chai.
I don't like my chai dirty.
That's what I was trying to say.
But I like my baristas. That's like the little like corny thing on the front of it.
Of course.
Of course, you gotta have the hook.
Yeah.
She doesn't drink espresso, but she does love it dirty.
That's good.
And then yeah, our you choose why
And then you
choose.
choose.
Fantasy, specifically.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, we got a lot of work to do this summer.
I'm suddenly so tired thinking of everything we have to do.
Hmm.
Well, Benny's girls, you'll hear from us. Don't ever want to hear that again.
I actually
I'm
I'm
done.
so
like,
sorry.
cut it from the tape. Cut it from
it
the
didn't happen. You didn't say it. I didn't repeat it 4 times. It didn't happen.
It's not.
Just one more time. Benny's girls.
Benny's gonna send us a restraining order and like
Cease
a
and
copyright
desist.
lawsuit. Just
Or
everything.
Selena will.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It will no longer be like Selena versus Haley. It'll be Selena versus Benny's girls.
Versus these random girls on a podcast.
But the worst thing is like, we don't want him.
Yeah.
You can keep him.
Oh my god.
Just-
Okay. I think that ends it.
That's
For
it.
real.
This
Well, thank
is-
you guys so much for listening. This has been an episode of The Read Receipts, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.